Although, to be honest, actually, yeah, you're probably allowed to swear. Actually, this isn't specifically made for children, but I guess if anybody do watch, it's not a professional look, is it? If we do that. So yeah, welcome everybody to the Welsh Chess Chat. Obviously, quite a lot to discuss tonight. We're actually just listing it only a few days ago, and we've actually decided to move one segment to next week as well, which is pretty good. And also, yeah, how do we keep talking for every single week about chess and Welsh chess and in general? How do we do it, guys?
Who knows? There's just too much content. We're just too interesting.
We're too interesting.
And well, we managed to do it without everybody's favorite CM the last 2 weeks.
I know. I'm glad you got that in. I was just about to say that line as well. Welcome back, Alex. And look at him. Have you got like a massive glass cut trophy or something to show us? Or
yeah. Did you get something good?
Well,
European trophies tend to be awesome. Like,
I mean, I've literally got the cash here.
Oh, nice. That's flashing the cash.
But,
have you got your 60 quid from last weekend as well?
I have got my £60 as well, yeah.
He's got his 60 quid.
He's raking it in this summer.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I made a loss from that weekend, actually, but still.
Between our like 4 NCL team, everyone's like, just tournament victory after just all that cash coming in.
Except I don't know. It wasn't a tournament victory though, was it last weekend?
Okay. Well, best Welsh player, it counts for something.
I knew he'd get that in somewhere. Knocking on Howard's door. Howard?
Yeah.
Howard, if you're watching.
Just beat Johnny Blackbird in the tournament.
My whole point as well, yeah.
Well, how many Welsh players can win an international tournament and then, not get in the team? I think if you go abroad and just like show them how it's done, and then, I think that's automatic selection, isn't it?
Right. So Johan selected me. I'll book my plane ticket after this stream.
Now, I do wonder though. So it could actually be a really good thing to do though, couldn't it? If you want to get your rating really high, I'm pretty sure some people have done that where they've specifically gone and targeted tournaments in Spain, where I've heard, and I think there's some evidence, mathematical proof that they are overrated there. Is that true?
I believe so. I did lose rating last time I was there, but I'm pretty sure it's. I think Spain and Germany are supposed to be the two which are at that end of the scale, and then Sri Lanka and India. There's actually an index somewhere of countries where it's easiest to get in rating, and then India and Sri Lanka are down the other end of the scale.
We're just Czech Republic on that, since you chose it.
Well, I chose it actually not for that reason.
Just for fun, yeah.
I've played there like 9 times, and it's only the second time I've gained ELO there, so I'm still net minus points, but.
Okay, so they were happy to see you come until you started wiping the floor with them.
Basically, and then they were really everyone was so pissed off at the prize giving. You could tell nobody was happy that I won.
That's
brilliant. The way we like it.
Yes, there's a Welsh threat over there succeeds. Okay, well, thanks everybody for watching. We've got a few followers now, which is great. Obviously, we're going to have a look at the Welsh Chess Union calendar. That's one of the first things to look at. And also the Welsh Chess Union ratings, which I did check a couple of days ago and noticed an oddity, but we'll see if it's still there. If it is, then we'll have a bit of a laugh about that. Me and Alex played in the Newport Congress last weekend, but we also had the Seniors Championships there and the Under-18 Championship tied in as well. We've got probably quite a big section actually on correspondence chess and some fantastic Welsh performances going on at the moment. We might have a little bit of a moan and rant about the European team selection. And hopefully show you some chess from either Title Tuesday obviously Tuesday this week, where we've got some quite interesting things going on there. And Alex has got hopefully some of his games from the Czech Republic from a couple of weeks back, which he can hopefully show us. And we can maybe learn a thing or two against somebody who's currently on form and currently clearly better than me by a whole point in a tournament. So we'll see what he goes. So, okay, let me share my screen and we'll have a look at the calendar, because I think that's probably where we should start. I haven't actually shared my screen yet. This is a shock, actually. Let's click this on. Screen 1. Allow. Okay, so let me load it up. Share it on stream. So there's the beautiful Welsh Chess Union calendar. Actually, it's not. That's the latest news section.
No.
Do forgive me. And it's really good to see that actually they've removed Newport Congress and actually have what the latest news actually is, which is that Real's coming up.
Very up to date.
Sorry?
Very up to date.
I know, it's good. I think they know that we're going to be looking at it and live on the stream. So I think there's a little hurry around to make sure that things just look a little bit nicer. And I'm unsure about whether I'm going to be playing in Real anymore.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah. Whether...
Yeah. It's not due to not wanting to play. I just felt exhausted. And that's why I cut the stream short on Tuesday. I think I've just played a lot of chess over the summer. And with all my school clubs starting back this week as well, it's looking towards the downer. But I'll see how I feel next week. And you never know. I sometimes have a late change of heart and get in my car and drive somewhere and go, I'm playing chess. I'm not missing out. But we'll see. I've got a lot of things on.
List, isn't it, Real?
Is there an entry list somewhere?
Yeah, but there's.
How do I get to it?
Open. I don't know. Just type in Real Chess Congress into Google. And it's like 6 people, I think, in the open, but most of them are taking round 1 buys. It's like really, really weird dynamic.
Right.
What?
So I think Charles Morris is by far top seed, and then tails off quite quickly.
So, okay, hang on a minute. So I'm just trying to search for it at the moment. I haven't even been able to find the entry list myself. So, list of entrants. Okay, right, hang on. I can put this on the screen actually because this would be useful. I should have done this before. So here's so it's Real in Prestatyn Chess Club. It's great that they're hosting an event.
Right,
so open section.
Okay, there's a few.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, and 3 with around 1 buy.
Okay, that's better than it was when I last checked a few days ago.
Yeah.
The other sections are very.
Oh right, the other sections have got quite a few people in them, haven't they?
It's a shame that is because actually people can travel from Liverpool and Manchester over.
Yeah.
Quite easy. It's not like it's far to go. So I think maybe this also shows potentially just how important advertising the event actually is. We know that Newport Congress that's just happened, they did a lot of work on Facebook, reposting about the tournament going on. I haven't seen as much for Real at all. It's been on the English Chess Federation calendar and also the Welsh Chess Union calendar as well. But apart from being on there, it's not been constantly thrown in people's faces, is it? Do we think that has a big impact?
You know, it'd be interesting to ask who organised the Newport Congress. Why do they think it was so successful? Just be interesting to get their input on it. You know, because they might have heard from people entering where they, why they decided to or whatever. I think.
That's a good point. But I know, for example, like Real clashes with quite a few other tournaments. So I think maybe you always need to be a bit lucky with when you pick a date for a tournament. Hope there's not another big one on the same weekend, things like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think there's one in like Derbyshire. So I guess anyone up north is probably more likely to go there than Real, I guess. I'm not sure on logistics, but yeah.
Yeah, I had the choice of Derby or Real. It's about equidistant for me as well. In fact, Derby would actually be slightly better because it's 3 games on the Saturday rather than a Friday night game. And £50 higher prize money for first place. But we don't really look at that, do we, when we're trying for games. But some of these players are quite dangerous. I think I've seen Selwyn Hamilton play some good games before, and Chris Duran as well. Useful players. I don't know any of the others apart from Charles.
Yeah, I think I looked up their ratings and they were either unrated or quite a bit lower.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, doesn't look like there's much to be gained there from a rating perspective then. It's in the hide into nothing. Okay, well, that's Real coming up, and hopefully we'll see more people entering the open section because it's still a nice enough place to go. I think a few people. I'll just have a look in the minor section actually. I did recommend to some of my keen juniors that if they wanted to go to a proper tournament, then this is the one to go to, which is the next closest one. Okay, right. Well,
take your advice.
I think one of them might go, but only because their family's got a some sort of caravan up there, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
So they can have a holiday while they play chess, which is exactly the way to do it, isn't it? If you just go purely for the chess, then it's not good. Okay, well, the latest news has got most of the calendar on, and one of the big things that you'll see, Johan, that I've put on here, I emailed in about our training weekend that we're going to be doing. So that's on there, 14th and 15th of October. So any parents listening, or if you know any for your juniors, for 12 years and over, they can come down £50 for the weekend or £30 a day on a Saturday and a Sunday. Myself and Johan will be doing quite a lot of coaching there. In fact, all of the sessions, with a little bit of help here and there from probably a couple of people as well, but mainly been myself and Johan. You can just email me there if you do need to enter. But yeah, everything else looks pretty good. But yeah, that's the one thing that we saw last time, actually, wasn't it? Do we have any news on it? The tandem tournament. Did we find out what that was?
No, no one's mentioned it then.
So I'm just going to scroll down because obviously Guernsey International.
I don't know the answer about the tandem, but I believe it's where you're playing blitz as a pair and you alternate move.
Oh, right.
Well, I don't know. It's not necessarily
like Bughouse.
It can be rapid, I think, as well. But I don't believe it's Bughouse. I think it's where, you have two players, and I think it's alternate moves. It's like what they do at London Chess Classic. They used to do where people get paired up with top GMs. So yeah, this could be. I mean, you two are going to be fighting to be my partner if that's the case. It's going to have fallings out, I think.
We should just let ourselves go to the highest bidder. Actually, that's what we should do. We should have. It's almost like a slave auction, but put all of us title players just basically, and people can, and maybe the money that gets raised goes towards charity or something like that. And then they can pick us as a partner. I think that'd be great.
This sounds like one of those, like when you auction yourself off for a date. Just even better, you get to play chess with John Blackburn.
Yeah. It just cuts all the foreplay, doesn't it?
Ladies will be like queuing up to donate their money.
I'm not sure about that. If it raises money for charity, you can get away with it. So, okay, right. Well, good to see the calendar really updated, and just a quick look at the ratings as well, because clearly, due to my performance in Newport, my rating should have gone down. And I did have a little bit of a bone to pick here, actually, as it just loads up, because I'm pretty sure I clicked on here before, right? And I looked at this, I clicked on all, I was like, and I knew that the damage to me was going to be quite severe, and I'm minus 23 now. I click on my name, scroll down, my Newport Congress tournament results are on here, win, loss. I'm like, no. And I go, hang on a minute, Alex Bullen plus 25? They didn't have your Newport games on before, but now they do.
It's just because they're different rating officers. So the
Gwent, I see.
He's ready, and then I don't know who the Gwent rating officer. I think it's the David Norris. Actually, I think it's the organizer of the Newport Congress is the Gwent rating officer, and it's Paul Orton and Friska Morgan. So it's just whenever they get around to doing it.
What's your highest Welsh rating out of interest, Alex?
Well, this one.
Yeah. That's good. It's kind of closing in on 23. So,
and I won a game last night, so it'll be like 22-71 now.
Ooh.
Big win then, was it?
22-71.
That's the problem. You get to 22-70 in Wales, it's like, you just go up in ones. It's just like, it's tough. It's really tough.
I mean, I was losing as well. I was like, he was +2 or something for some time. So yeah, if I play so many 1700s, my rating will only go down because you can't be.
Yeah, you definitely you're only 36 points behind me now. Well, 35.
35, yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, very close. I mean, I'm still only same points to Johan though as well, so don't feel too bad. But yeah, it's definitely good that you're going up, and well done. And well done the rating officers for getting all of this up to date. And there's Peter Varley with some extra points. that he took off me as well. Okay, well, let's jump in. So we really want to cover what happened in Newport. As you might have been able to guess from the conversation already, we actually has started really well, didn't we, Alex?
Yeah, we were on fire. We especially Saturday when we'd obviously been out for drinks Friday night. So what was going to stop us after that?
Don't shout about that.
Oh. Sorry, I'll message Lisa separately.
Okay, I expected the Newport results to be on here. Do I have to go to Facebook to find them?
Or chess results, right? It's pretty the quickest way.
Okay, I'll go chess results.
He types www.
So we go on to Wales, and then Newport Open, and what should we do? Round 5 out of 5.
Yeah, okay.
So you can see here that
one, just not the result.
Yeah, so well done, Alex, for scoring 4 out of 5, equal second.
There was quite a lot of people punched up there, wasn't there? So
yeah, well, obviously board 2 drew, so they finished on 4. Peter and Andy both finished on 4 as well, so quite a lot of people, yeah.
And the juniors,
the juniors was shared between. So this is obviously one of the things that happens when you put one tournament within another tournament. So Ewan Cave actually was eligible. I believe.
Had a very good tournament, didn't he?
Apart from this last round, yes.
Yeah.
He got 3 points, and Shen Wu drew his last game from 2.5 to get 3 points as well. So those two shared it.
That's a good draw last round, actually, isn't it?
It is actually against Alan Young, yeah. In fact, that's technically a harder pairing rating-wise than what Ewan Cave had against Andy Hill. But
much harder. Although somebody tired Alan Young out in the morning. So
yes, that was you, wasn't it? I mean, were you better at the opening there, Alex, at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, what's your definition of better?
I mean, like, were you pushing for some sort of advantage, or did you just get an equal position and then just play on and on and on and on until something happened?
Yeah, basically. I mean, the engine gives like 0.1 to 0.2 for the whole time. So there's something I can claim I'm marginally better just because I'm going first, right? But yeah, it was not much going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a game I'm ever going to show on Welsh Chess Chat, right? That was how to lose all the viewers.
It doesn't quite match up to Bull and Kerr then, no?
Oh, it's a lot longer than Bull and Kerr, but
yeah, we don't want to see that. So yeah, the tale of the tournament was myself, Alan, Alex, both won our first 3 games. And then I played Keith Arkle in round 4. Unfortunately lost, and what was actually quite a close game to being equal, to be honest, in the end. And then Alex played Keith in the last round and also lost.
I haven't heard anything about that game, like literally anything. So what
game?
What was going? No. Alex is against Keith. What happened?
His London system.
Yeah, I played London. The opening was okay. Like, he obviously equalized, and I had 2 weak pawns, but I was like more active. And then at some point, I just basically like doubled my queen and rook on his 7th rank.
Right.
And he can take either of my weak pawns, and if he does, I'll just be completely fine. But he just actually counterattacks my king, and all my pieces are too busy invading his position that actually I can't defend my king at all. And then I just blundered a rook, but I feel like he had to play kind of well.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that opening is good for Black anyway, but it's obviously not winning against the London. So it's just a typical line that a top player will play against you. I thought it was going to be hard for you to get anything out of that when he played that line. Yeah, I think he's meant to go Bishop A6 a bit earlier as well, actually.
Yeah, you can. But I think if he goes Bishop A6 earlier, then C4 is fine.
Okay.
Whereas when he played it, I can no longer go C4. I don't remember.
Oh, yes.
Why. Because I played Knight BD2, I think, which is a bit careless to play it so early. And then and I think the way he plays it probably works out better. But
But do you know what? It was a really good tournament. Newport, they were completely full. Obviously, had some withdrawals. We had a really funny incident before round 5 happened that we couldn't actually start round 5 because a game from round 4 was still going on.
And it wasn't
so
Alex's.
It wasn't Alex's grinding down of Alan Young. No, it was another game which was like so obviously drawn. Did that game actually end in the draw, Alex? I didn't even see.
It did. I'd like to know how many moves it was because they played for so long and it was only 90 plus 30. I think it must have been like over 150 moves.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a draw from a long time ago, and they kept on playing it. And I don't know who did that. I mean, I've seen people lose those positions though, so I don't blame them. But yeah, I mean, it's that delayed round 5, but it was okay though. And obviously, congratulations to Keith winning all 5 games. And he also needs to be said that he'd just come off the back of another tournament where he'd spent a week playing chess. From the looks of it, in the Riviera tournament.
Right, okay. I thought it was because he played another one. He's just like solid chess at the moment.
Yeah. I think he's just literally from chess tournament to chess tournament to chess tournament. So, at his age, to still have the stamina to keep going and not blunder. I think he was maybe a bit fortunate against Matthew Staniforth in an early round. It was a Czech Benoni that was, and I think Matthew, he maybe could have done very, very well, potentially even won it, but definitely hold it. And then unfortunately, he kept refusing a draw and playing on and on and on, and then came, and then, Keith does what Keith does in end game, so there's nothing you can do. But yeah, great to see this tournament happen, and Peter Varley beat me in the last rounds to get up there, which was disappointing for me, but still, it was a good game. I learned a lot from it. But yeah, I mean, well done to you and Cave as well. And all these people on 3 points, including me. And
I see you would have won the under-18s, John.
I would have done. I'd have been joint champion.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at how many entrants this is. 52 entrants in the Open. You compare that to real, that's a massive difference. The seniors... by the way, the best dressed person on day 1, I thought was Charles Morris. I thought his shirt was very snazzy. On day 2, though, with a very nice corduroy and purple shirt patterning going on, Rudy Van Kemenard for me.
So with this, are you just judging it on the seniors now, or the entire tournament?
The entire tournament.
Okay. Are you saying the seniors were just the best dressed?
On day 2, not the whole.
And day weekend. 1, you said.
Actually, yes. Sorry, of course, because Charles won the seniors. So the seniors have done us over.
Yeah.
I mean,
who won day 3 then? Like, are we going to be this? Could be a regular thing. John judges the fashion of chess players.
Well. I was expecting when I said to Charles Morris on day 1 that he was the best dressed. I actually said to him, "I'll wait to see what Tim Kett's wearing though, because he's usually very smart and quite fashionable, but he didn't turn up. So." He's lost a point there, or something that he'd really want to win. I think the problem with day 3, Johan, was it was very, very warm.
Right.
And
okay.
There wasn't air conditioning in the venue.
Hawaiian shorts coming out.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really looking for a shorts option, but I think most people were extremely sweltery by that point, and maybe the fashion standards had slipped a little bit. There wasn't anybody that kind of triggered my mind to say.
Nice green jumpers.
Didn't see any, I'm afraid. Nothing. But maybe we can make this a thing, the best dressed player at the tournament, and maybe every tournament should have some sort of award for that, and maybe you can do an average of 3 days or just 1 day. I don't know how you do it. I think it would be good though, and let's make people put a bit of effort in and make these things a bit smarter.
We can get a picture for the stream as well.
I think a picture for the stream and people's websites and Facebook to go on, a little certificate maybe, best dressed on the Friday night for round 1. And then there could be an overall one as well. Who knows, what kind of comment. Do you know what,
I've got the perfect shirt for the first round at the Welsh this year then. I've got it sorted. I'm going to win that.
Right. Well, that's going to go up in the Style Stakes. British Online Championships over the pandemic. I can't remember. It might have been Oscar Pollock. or it might have been somebody else. He always wore like a full suit, like black tie suit for every game. He's playing online.
Yeah.
He's wearing like, I'm just like, this is amazing. I even said so before the round. I said, "You're always looking very smart. What's going on?" you know. And I think he went a bit embarrassed, but I mean,
I never
he was
knew
all right with it.
that John had such a keen eye for fashion. Did you, Alex?
Well, usually he's commenting on people who are worse dressed. So I don't really see him throwing around compliments very often.
I'm trying to take a positive approach.
He's just very nice as soon as he presses the go live button. So
yeah. Apart from that, yeah. I mean, we don't talk about the worst dressed. I mean, the thing is though, when you're into teaching, they tell you and they tell you say don't try and focus on the negatives of things. You know, you still have to address them, but don't focus on them. Focus on praise, and if you put praise in, then that's going to up the standards. So maybe that's something that we want to do to make chess more accessible to everybody. If we raise the profile of it, make it look smarter, make people take a bit of time in their appearance, then it might have an overall impact for them. But yeah, Rudy and Mark Thomas, joint winners of the seniors. Any surprises there?
I think probably Mark Thomas has to go down as a surprise, right? Because
did they draw with each other last round by the looks of it then? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if they played properly or not. I guess they would have done.
They played quite long, actually.
Did they?
I think so.
Long in terms of moves, but probably not time, is it?
No. Yeah, the moves were quite long. The time wasn't very. Yeah, Mark Thomas, 1724.
The thing is, I think Mark, he played like quite a while ago. I swear he was nearly 2000 standard, and then he didn't play for ages, came back after the pandemic, and I think he was finishing like bottom of opens. So I think he just needed some time to get back into the swing of it. But I think his like understanding is there because he was like a very good player previously. So I guess maybe now he's finding that form he had before. But, yeah. It's always nice when someone kind of like turns around their form right into a success story.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a few months, hopefully. Yeah, no surprises that Rudy's up there. We're big fans of Rudy, I believe, and yeah, no surprises. He's joint champion, so well done to those two. But yeah, that wraps up Newport, and a fantastic tournament, and look forward to seeing more tournaments in South Wales being equally as well supported. And obviously on the calendar, there's a few more coming up. Definitely one in October, as well as West Wales one in Swansea. I think Bridgend again, and well, loads of tournaments coming up on the horizon. But okay, let's move on a little bit because we've still got, well, we're halfway through and we haven't even mentioned correspondence just yet. And I was hoping to kind of divulge a little bit to you two on this, and because I'm sure a lot of people, we haven't mentioned it on the Welsh chat at all so far, but all three of us played correspondence chess at some point. I've only played one tournament, but we won't talk too much about that. But I don't know, Alex, could you just tell the people that are listening what correspondence chess is all about?
Yeah, so basically correspondence chess is chess where you play over a number of days as opposed to in one session. So the time control will be in days rather than hours, minutes, or seconds, like usually we play online. So the correspondence chess we're referring to will mostly be with engines on the official like ICCF server, which I don't know if you do have it open. Excellent. Which looks like this. And yeah, so my involvement first kind of came around in the pandemic when there was no over-the-board chess. I thought I'd kind of have a go at correspondence chess, get into it. And yeah, I think the Welsh Correspondence Chess Federation is super well organized. They've got a very good website. It's a very, I think, like tight unit. I think when you join, you get tons of support, tons of resources. And yeah, they're definitely very passionate about what they do.
Yeah, and it's Russell Sherwood is he the guy that maintains the website and pretty much in charge of things?
I believe so. Russell's he's certainly very hands-on, has a lot of responsibility within the correspondence chess. I mean, just the fact we see on screen that he's the team captain of what we're going to show suggests that he's very much a key player.
Yeah, and
So
I
what's
remember
this?
getting a
This
lot
is
of
like
emails.
Wales winning some
So
tournament.
this is the European Team Championships. So I know at some point they reached this final, and then at the same time, like the next cycle preliminaries were starting. I got drafted in to play the preliminaries, so all their top players could focus on the final. So yeah, they've got. I know that Gareth Yeo plays on top board for them, and yeah, I don't think many of them play over the board, but Ian Jones, for example, plays over the board and correspondence, and Mark Adams as well. And in this tournament, I think it's quite rare. Usually, when you see tournaments, I think maybe even +2, +3 can win them. And I see Wales there have finished all their games now, finished on +5.
Right, yeah.
So and if you look in the column that says RG, that's remaining games for the countries.
Right,
So
okay.
the teams in second and third have no remaining games, will not catch Wales. And you say even the one Germany in fourth, they're only +2 and they have 3 remaining games. They probably basically need to win all their games to catch Wales. So, and I know they're talking about, we're going to get a medal, but I would say that's almost certainly going to be a gold medal there.
Yeah.
Which is quite an achievement. When you look at the countries on that list,
That's crazy.
It's not like it's a small nations tournament. It is, the top countries in Europe.
So who else plays? How big? Do you know how big the team is? Who else plays? I know Gareth was always well into correspondence chess, wasn't he? But who else is playing?
It's 8 boards. So it's Gareth Yeo, John Claridge. If you scroll down, you can even see who's on what board.
Can we?
Yeah, you have to do it board by board.
Go to board.
Yeah. So if you click board 1, it'll be Gareth, who I guess drew all his games.
Yeah, yes. Gareth Yeo. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
That's nuts. Look at that cross table. Every single game a draw.
I think it's nearly always like this.
There is a couple of wins here.
Oh, I
win here by E.
That. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Every game's a draw. Board 2 is so he picked up the points. Anthony Bolshaw drew all his games.
You know, he got +1. He also beat the number 30.
Sorry, I missed that. It's so easy to miss, isn't it?
Yeah, and when you're playing a team event, if you're scoring +1, that's huge for the team. Like,
wow.
If you have basically half your players score +1, half your players draw all their games, you're probably going to win with +4. So
John Claridge scored +1 against the 13th guy.
Scored +1, yeah. And I think it's always important as well, like when he beats number 13, that the other people in your section don't beat number 13. Because sometimes you might get that player's like a weak link that everybody puts away, so it balances out.
Yeah.
If you're the only one who gets a win, obviously that's huge.
Yeah, Ian Jones +1. Won against number 12, the guy from Slovenia.
Wow.
So, I don't know who the rest of the team is, though. Who is it? Austin Lockwood.
Yes. Yeah.
Drew all his games. Well done, Austin. I mean, this is fantastic, isn't it? When you think about it.
To be so strong at
Russell Sherwood.
So strong at correspondence chess, but not play over the board so much. It's really interesting. Like I find that it's really really useful to play over the board chess and things to give ideas to your correspondence games.
Helen Sherwood's got a +1 score as well. And board 8 was Mark Adams, who's got a 1E. Does E mean something? What does?
I think E means like win on time, but usually it will just be that the person doesn't move, like they get a worse position and just decide not to.
Yeah.
If they're disgruntled, like sometimes it can be they're legitimately slow, but you have so many days. I think you'd have to be actually not caring to lose on time. Especially an important event like this, because your team captain would be going, why are you
not moving?
I mean, it's a fantastic performance, and congratulations to the correspondence team there. And you try and put this into context here. All of these teams here, we've just had European team selection, and Howard just emailed back saying that there's not enough interest for a Welsh team to go, primarily because we have to pay everything to go there, and 2 weeks off work pretty much, and paying over £1,000 for the hotel plus extra fees it doesn't seem good money to go. Just at the same time, the England team's got more money to actually pay their players to go. Kind of feels a bit bad there. And yet, actually, our correspondence team are going, yeah, we don't need that. We can just go and win the tournament anyway. Wow. Congratulations,
From home.
guys. Yeah, from home.
Yeah.
This is brilliant. And I don't know, maybe, Johan, have you found playing correspondence chess useful?
Oh, yeah. It was like a absolute key thing for getting my openings up to scratch. Like, although as I was telling you before, I kind of accidentally did it illegally or using.
Well, no, go on, tell us about that, because people need to know about that, don't they?
No, this is a good point, right? If you don't want to get banned from live chess or chess.com, don't use an engine. I just assumed that all correspondence chess was like with an engine, and like, I was using blatantly using an engine, and all the time on my live chess account just for correspondence chess, and it took ages to get banned. I think I had like the highest correspondence rating on the site. Like, I didn't see, there isn't a ranking for it like all the other things, but I never played anyone the same rating as me. Like, everybody was a little bit below, even though they were clearly using engines as well. but honestly, that's why my openings are prepared to such depth, because I've played I was playing so many correspondence games at the same time, like 20 or 30 at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that I can see that Alex is finding this whole episode that you got banned for cheating on Blitz hilarious, but it's a mistake that I could see myself making very easily. So maybe it's just that we're old, Johan. And,
but there was just no question that everybody, like, nobody was getting banned. Like, it was months, like 7 months or something I was playing, and it was very, like, I wasn't hiding it. It was it was unless I'm like better than Carlson, then like I was clearly using an engine. But interestingly, if anybody plays correspondence chess on live chess, then 2400 is the magic number. Like, if you're more than 2400, you're definitely using an engine. Like, I'm 100% sure of that. And actually, like, below 2400, then it's possible to get to.
Yeah, this is just.
I was 2700.
2700, so a complete engine use. I've just put on the Welsh correspondence website on there. It's welshccf.org.uk, and yeah, a lot of effort put in, and looks like they've got a lot of analysis on here as well, which is a lot of really good stuff.
I've not been on that. That looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, it showed. I even saw some sort of post on there about the difference on how to use an engine almost to try and win a game, which was fascinating to me, because obviously we just think it just goes to a draw, but apparently there's quite a bit of detail in it as well, which is great to see. So by all means, familiar yourself with that website. But I'd echo what Jan was saying there as well, that the correspondence, when I did play the one tournament, I actually still do something now in my lines that I did then, that I actually played in one of my games, and you can use it as a really good training tool for over the board chess. Not that you should be. I mean, I guess you could try and use it in that sense. But I found it took up quite a lot of time. I was spending quite a lot of time playing through moves and getting through it. So you were saying you had 25 to 30 games on the go.
Yeah.
How long did that take you to get through?
Because of the software I have that it analyzes on its own, then, I think I could do that while putting in an hour a day or something. I recently played on I've only ever played 2 games on ICCF. I recently played against someone for a West Wales team or something, and I did have to actually put quite a bit of time into that, and I was kind of annoyed that I didn't get a win, and I got 2 draws, but like, I was on top. It's just so hard to put someone away, like, really hard. And I was spending quite a lot of time because if you want to win, then I think you can use Stockfish, and but also what I was doing was using the AI engines and doing it myself, because it gives you more interesting ideas if you just play through with the artificial intelligence engine. It's if it's equal, that it's not really equal. it kind of gives you the best practical chances. But that takes ages.
Yeah, wow. And Alex, how long do you spend on correspondence chess, and has it helped your openings and things?
Yeah, these days I don't spend much time in it. I just don't have the time for it. But yeah, I mean, I think it helped my openings when I was taking it kind of seriously, because there was a time as well where I know Gareth was telling me like, oh, you shouldn't play the Kara if you want to try and win games with correspondence chess. So I played Sveshnikov for a bit, and then I actually stopped doing that because I don't think it was helping my real chess. So even though it's as good to play on that, kept playing the Kara on there because it was useful. And I think a few times I've used games from the ICCF as preparation for over the board games, and I think it's good because if your openings aren't watertight, you'll just get busted out the opening. So I think it's really good to find the best lines in a lot of cases as well. And then also seeing the plans and how the engine handles certain positions can be good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably return to this topic, I think, in future chats quite recently, especially if we get the last few games of that tournament going on. I think I might have even read there that they might be the most successful British team or UK team or something ever. So we'll maybe hear some more details about that in the future. But I've also been sent this link that they're actually hosting the International Correspondence Chess Federation Congress 2024 in Llandudno, Wales, which I'm completely confused about.
Yeah, I know, isn't it from home?
So what, is everybody going to be at home, or is people going to be flying in to actually... then this is August 2024. I mean, the Welsh chess calendar, I don't think goes that far, and it's been extended a lot recently. But that's a lot, quite a way in advance. So they're really planned ahead, and they must have a venue in Llandudno. And wow, I think that's all of the national federations are going into Llandudno for correspondence chess.
They made quite a spectacle of it, I believe. They held it in Cardiff once, the Norwegian church in Cardiff Bay, which I guess Johan will know. Yeah, and I think they have some over-the-board matches. They organise. There's like a blitz tournament they put on, and I think also like a good social as well with people you've played against and exchange messages with. You can actually meet them in the flesh. So I think it's quite a big event in their calendar, and obviously great that it's in Wales.
Yeah, fantastic work, guys. And looks like we're at the top of chess in one area, but we can't even enter a team in the other area, which is just quite a funny state of how things are going. Okay, well, let's look at some chess then, guys. I know that you wanted to see a couple of my games and a couple of things happen, but obviously we'll load up Alex's in a second as well. I just want to show you this position here from my title Tuesday. This is Puzzle Rush. So all the work that I did on Puzzle Rush paid off here, because after you went Rook C8, it went check immediately. I was like, shove that king in the corner. And I was like, okay, right, let's go for this then.
Yeah, of course,
A4, Rook D8, and you probably already put it together. Doesn't quite work, though, which is really annoying. And I actually went on to lose this game, even though the answer is, what did I play here?
Knight B6.
Knight B6 check, takes, check. Knight has to block, take the queen. And of course, in all the Puzzle Rush, when you go...
Why doesn't it work?
Yeah, how did you not win this game?
Oh, because he gets 2 pieces for the queen.
Yeah, that's still working, yeah?
Yeah, okay, right. I was having a very bad night, all right, wasn't I? Okay. I might have...
Oh, but you said it didn't work. I thought you meant like there was some blunder. Like you are winning at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm winning at this point. I mean, it goes wrong very quickly, actually. I just go Rook here to swap rooks, B5, Queen here, and I think, all right, Bishop C7 attacks a Rook and a Knight. But apparently it doesn't, because Knight C4, and I'm just like,
no.
And actually, for some reason, I don't
this is
play
just
Bishop
after beating
F4.
a 2800. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm all think I'm Mr. Big. I could play Bishop F4 here, but just completely miss this retreat and think that, and so therefore I just take and go into this endgame, and then I just blunder more pieces. So here I blunder this pawn, and then I'll just blunder this pawn and try and checkmate him, and it goes wrong. You wanted to see my win against the 2800, didn't you?
Yeah, I haven't seen the start. Yeah,
it was just a typical King's Indian, to be honest, and just blitz out these moves now pretty quickly. I've forgotten what to do against Bishop F4, but I'm not concerned because I know that they take a load of stuff, but they never win a pawn. And even though Rook B8 is a sorry move to play, if you just play it, then it's just simple. So some stuff happens, but my pawns get a little mashed up. But I think my pieces are going forward.
No,
so
you've got the knight and queen, which is a better pairing. So
yeah, but the knight can't really involve itself too much at this stage.
not yet.
But yeah, rook c6 I thought was going to be trouble, but then I started to get some back rank stuff, and he plays bishop f3, and I thought this was quite clever now because I go queen a1 check, king g2, and then I go queen e1.
Nice.
And it's just a very simple threat of rook d1, isn't it? I thought actually here e3 was actually quite good, or something like this, but then rook d2 happens.
D2,
yeah, and so it's all problem for him. And he goes g4, and I go okay, because I saw that I could get this rook d4 move in.
Wow, this is quite a clean. It looks like a clean game anyway. It
yeah,
says
it's
you've
just all
got 3
over.
blunders, but
I mean, it's all over basically at this point because I've got rook down and then rook
there's
back.
just no complications, were there really?
No, I mean, I wasn't even sure I'd win this, but he made it easy for me because here at this point he went rook here, took his rook. So that's I'm sure I would have tried to find a win there, but you know how it is sometimes. But enough about my bad chess. That's how I beat a 2800, which is my highest rated win. So obviously quite happy about that. But let's have a look at Alex's games from the Czech Republic, if that's okay, Alex, because these are serious long play games and much higher quality than our online nonsense that we play.
I like the fact that the whole stream was about how bad at chess you are, and then we finished with you having a good win. Just so that's what lives in everyone's memories, right?
Cheers.
Cool. So everyone can see my stream.
Yep.
Screen now, right? Yeah. So I think this is actually kind of a useful game to show, as well as quite an entertaining one. Because I think if you're going to do well in a 9-round tournament, you kind of need luck at some point, right? I don't think anybody can go through and just play amazingly every game. I think even if you take the Welsh this year that Daniel walked through a 7 out of 7, I'm sure there's one game where he'll say, "Oh, I was lucky in this one," or had some luck along the way. And I think you need it, and you need to take your chances when they come. So this was my 4th round game, so I'd basically let my h2 pawn go to get a bit of pressure. So my pawn down, but my rook on h6 has his rook on h8 tied down. I've got the passed a pawn. So it's kind of balancing whether I'm doing well here or not, I guess. So we got to this position, and we kind of repeated moves once, and I was like, you kind of having that moral decision of whether I want to play on, and I guess the only way to do so is to take on c6, and then try and work a way to push the a pawn. Although whether I should just repeat and say, you know what, I'm on 3 out of 3. If I draw, I'm still joint leader, and take the tournament situation into control. I mean, I don't know how tempted you guys would be to take on c6 and play for a win here.
It's really hard to assess. You'd need to have a good think, but it doesn't look like, to me, it doesn't look appealing.
No,
Yeah.
I can't see that being. It's too risky, I think.
Yeah,
there's some sort of f4, f5 going on, or I don't know. You can't take on g5 and then e6. The king just comes back. So
yeah. And I mean, I guess as well, if this bishops was better placed, but it's kind of a bit useless, right? It'll support a pawn to a5, and then it's difficult to make it active. So yeah, in the end, I was like, okay, a draw's fine, and I just repeat. And he goes rook c8, and he's a right arrogant little kid.
This is the kid.
Yeah, he'd been annoying me all the way through the game, and I thought, he thinks he's really clever going rook c8 and repeating moves this way, like instead of just doing it like a normal person. So I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. Like you can have your draw. So I went rook a7 check, and he's got maybe half an hour or just under left on his clock, and he starts thinking. And I know
hang on. How old roughly?
He's 15, 16.
Okay. That's old enough.
Yeah, and he's got loads of mates playing the tournament, and I thought he's just like probably waiting for them after the game. He's just going to sit here and claim a draw like at the end. And then after maybe 10 minutes, I thought, maybe he's actually thinking of a move here. Like it didn't occur to me initially that he was actually thinking of trying to win. And I was like, okay, king e8 kind of makes sense, right? Because he wants to bring his king over maybe to g7, hit the rook, free up his other rook. And then... Sorry?
There's a tactic there, isn't there?
There is a tactic there.
Okay, sorry. I didn't want to spoil the tactic.
No, we won't say what the tactic is, but there is a tactic there. And how long did that take you to work out, John?
Not very long at all.
A couple of
I
seconds.
mean, that's really bad, isn't
If
it?
you're
That's
having
such
a
a bad
25,
miss.
if you're having a 25-minute thing, you certainly see it, right? Obviously, he's
Yeah.
a bit lower rated than ourselves, but you see it. And then I thought, okay, that doesn't work. Maybe he's thinking about King D8, and I was like, well, that's just a terrible move. Like after King D8, I can probably just go A5. Like I don't need to refute that move. It's clearly bad. So yeah, I thought, okay, he can't go King E8. He's not going to go King D8. So I'm just waiting for him to go Rook C7. And then we're just going to agree a draw. And anyway, after thinking for ages, he goes King E8. And I had already seen the refutation. So I wrote King E8 on the score sheet and immediately played. What move did I play, John?
Bishop takes G5.
Bishop takes G5. And it was just, it's one of these moments. I've never been so satisfied to play a move because I went Bishop takes G5. He sort of like sits up straight in his chair, like, oh, didn't see that coming. And he just looks at it, and after about a minute, it dawned on him that he's now just busted. And he started to have a little cry at the board, which not so arrogant now, are you? So it was very, very satisfying. But actually, like, it's still, even though it's completely winning now, there's still some work to do. Because I think
I wonder what Black's actual best kind of defense at this moment is. So, because in this moment, it's very easy just to completely collapse.
Yes.
Yeah.
He actually does.
Because the 2 rooks on the 7th is, difficult to deal with.
Well, he doesn't make me be accurate. I think he finds the best way of playing on through his tiers. Which he's also trying to hide because all his mates are in the hall. So he's like got his hands over his face, but I knew what was happening. And it's also actually disruptive for me as well because I'm trying to like find the best line while my opponent is quite upset. So Rook H7, Rook G5 takes.
Should just show why they can't take the bishop on G5 just on the board.
Okay. So here, if you take on G5, then Rook takes E6, and there's no way of defending this bishop, which is attacked twice, and I'll take it. 2 rooks on the 7th, and your rook's not even joining in on H8, and I'll just gradually probably take all your pawns and queen my own. So he plays.
Actually, it's even worse there. Actually, just go back to that. The funny thing there is that one thing that I wanted to do with Black here is just swap off a pair of rooks.
Yeah,
but he can't even do that. So if he goes King D8, you do Rook E6 takes E7, and he plays Rook E8. You've got checkmate in 1.
Yeah.
And if he does it the other way around and goes King F8 instead, right?
Yeah,
you obviously do
mate,
Rook E6 takes on Bishop. No, it's not checkmate. But after Rook E8,
you win the H8 rook. Right?
You can take the rook and go Rook A8 check. So he can't even swap off the pair of rooks to try and neutralize the attack. It's just completely all over. Sorry for that interlude.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. I've gone too far. We can relive it again. But yeah, even here, it's like winning, but actually it's only 1 pawn, so you still have to kind of be accurate, right? Like if I allow him to play Rook C2 check and get both rooks active, then bad stuff can kind of happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Rook C7 is kind of good. And when you play Rook C7, you kind of need to realize that you have this little tactic as well. Whereas after Rook A8, you can just go A5. So you can't take on A5 because of mate. And once you realize you have this, it should be okay to convert to King G8, renew the mate threat, King H8, and then Rook A7 now at the right moment. And yeah, I mean, I'd rather a rook behind the pawn, but even before, with his king in such a bad position, it's over. So it takes.
What if he took G2 instead of a couple of moves back? Sorry. After you take here and then you played can you take G2? What's your what if he takes there?
A6.
I think just A6, right?
Because you can't go Rook G1, Rook A1. It's Rook H8, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd just go A7, Rook B7, and I think you don't think you even have any quick defense.
And then King G8 here.
Why do you need to move that rook? Why can't you just play A7?
Okay, maybe actually.
I mean, maybe it's the same thing, but
yeah, that's probably quicker.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just you just can't stop it. It's just too
Yeah,
slow.
it's just over. So, but yeah, and then it only lasts one move longer. But fake takes rook g2 here, and obviously you can't stop a7, rook b8, and ace8 queen. So yeah, a bit fortunate to win it, but you need to take your chances when they come along. And yeah, I think it again demonstrates, like, I feel as if in the past I would probably have pushed too hard to win with white, and it shows maybe my opponent's young, inexperienced. He did the same with black, thinking, well, I'm a pawn up, I want to try and win, and just takes that unnecessary risk to try and do so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not as fluky as my win against Larkin in round 3 of the South Wales International.
That's what came to my mind there.
Yeah, I mean, that's I haven't had one of those in a long time, where I've been completely busted and then fought really trying to fight to get the draw and then actually win the game, which is just a bit of a shock. But I think this is quite evident though, and one of the things that I've overlooked is that actually maybe my endgame skills are actually quite good. Compared to, say, 1800, 1900, 2000 rated players on average. And it's just maybe that I'm just not getting there as much as often in order to show it, perhaps. So it's maybe something I'll try and do a bit more of in the future. But yeah, no. When are we next playing, guys? When's the next tournament for you two?
At the moment, it's for NCL if captain picks me. So I need to get something in before then. I feel like I'm playing well now. I feel like whatever was wrong with my brain is kind of over, and I can actually play chess again. So I don't know. I think I kind of need a tournament now.
You did say that you were doing some chess earlier today, so you're feeling good. What were you doing?
I've kind of changed from. I'm kind of happy with my openings now. So what I'm doing is kind of maybe just adding to that while doing sort of middle game training. So I pick some like study games that come from my openings and just study them in depth with an engine. So just annotating and then going through the entire game. So you're getting like middle game and end game that are quite relevant to your openings. So, and then I just put them into my notes then. So, yeah, I find that helps a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what quite a lot of people just don't do. I have spoken to a lot of people who have played, and they've been rated around 1900. And I said to them, look, all you need to do is just spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes just looking at this opening variation, and your problem's solved. And they just don't want to do it. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, why? It feels like it could be a very easy solution to a lot of the problems that people have. But obviously, at the level that you're wanting to push onto, what you need to do is you need to study the opening. You need to get to the end of the opening variation where there's obviously too many tree branches of the tree to go off, and then you need to study other people's games that have played from that position onwards, obviously top level games. You also need to play games against the computer and training partners at that level as well. That's quite a lot of effort, and I think that last part is what I'm missing.
It's a lot of work.
I'm missing that last part because not because I don't want to, but because I haven't got time to do it. More so than anything, it's just he's got time to play 10 training games from just one position, and then just playing 10 games in itself is enough hard work.
I think it's nice when you see it like actually help. Like that the game where I beat that 2750 on Tuesday. Like that's just like a super complex middle game. And I've not seen it before, but I've been through lots of games in that sort of structure. And I think you mentioned like the rook lift, and the H pawn, the sack on H5. Like these are just themes that come up. And if you study lots of games, you just see it. Like it's not calculation, but it's just there.
Yeah.
But like if you do that in lots of your openings and lots of those structures, you just see those ideas that the machine comes up with and other top GMs and stuff, then it's just all there then ready for you to use in your games. So
Yeah, Jan's just referring to this game, everybody. So it's just.
But this position here, this is super complex. Like from here up, like I've not seen this position before, but I've seen similar ones. But like to come up with the right plans in this position is really difficult.
So this rook a3 move was quite interesting, wasn't it? And bringing the rook across to defend e4, and then it's just a case of around this point.
But this point here as well, like h4 is not difficult. It's not easy move to see. But like these are top engine moves. So like. And then knowing that I'm going to go knight g5 and take on h5, and it's just there's no win there. You just know that there's pressure.
Yeah,
with the two bishops coming across and both rooks being in there, and it's just
it's e5 here.
And then the end and then the end is just a puzzle rush. Kind of, you could just see a mating net happening, and then king. Like when you've got like a few seconds left on your clock, like it's just
14 seconds left. He plays the calm king h2.
Yeah, it was just really kind of pleasing,
Cannot be stopped. Yeah, really nice win. Some poor guy from Ukraine as well. I hope you feel good about yourself. Yeah.
He probably cried after, just like Alex's opponent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe. And just before we go, Alex, when's your next tournament? What's going on?
I guess it'll probably be when I play in Magaluf in 3 weeks' time, I guess. Maybe a bit more.
Don't know why you're going there.
Just for the chess, isn't it, John?
Yes, of course.
To chase
the rating points.
Wise. That's the only reason. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to play a weekend before then, but I think realistically it'll be difficult. But I mean, and also because the season started, I basically can play league match or club championship every single week before then. So I'm probably not desperate for games. So we'll see. And yourself, it'll be 4 NCL for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think I was being selected for this one, but...
well, probably non-form, probably not, I guess.
Yeah, well, there you go. But no, I've got a couple of local league matches. I'm unsure about Real at the moment, but we'll just see how it goes because all my after-school clubs have just started this week. So it's basically back into my regular weekly grind of working and of earning money again before my next big chess purge comes, and I play loads of tournaments all in one go. But I'm also organising the Staffordshire Junior Championships as well, organising that training weekend, obviously with Johan helping out as well. So there's a lot of things going on organisation-wise, which is obviously to bear in mind. Okay, right. Well, thanks for everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we've still got plenty more things on these topics to talk about next week as well. I'm sure we'll have an update on the Correspondence League, unless it doesn't change within a week, which we'll have to see. And maybe we'll talk about the WCPL next week or the week after. But apart from that, thanks everybody for watching, and see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.